What is up, guys? This is Murph with the mic, and this is another The Wrestling Podcast for 9/3/17. I'm right?
You are
Yes,
correct.
sir.
All right, there we go. We are all back together. The whole crew is here. We got Louis Beans,
Hello.
we got Japstar,
Hey now.
and for 2 weeks in a row, the Minion with the Opinion.
They're paying me more. They're paying me more.
So what's up, guys? What's going on?
Nothing much. Ready to dig into this wrestling world.
Yeah, man. All right. So the two little topics I actually wrote up little topics here and there.
Nice.
One is about the PWI top 10 wrestlers. We'll talk about the list, and we gotta get our insight on what you think who should be in there and what should not. And then the first big thing I want to talk about, because it's probably the biggest thing that's going on right now, is the lack of a baby face. And how WWE can't seem to actually build a baby face, or they just tend to fuck it up whenever they got something going.
Seriously.
So we'll get into that first. I think the last babyface champion was Dean Ambrose.
You might be
If
right.
I'm not mistaken. Like
Yeah.
actually, and he actually had a good run. I like Dean Ambrose's run. A lot of people don't. I love Dean Ambrose's run. I think he was the first fighting champion we got in a long time.
Absolutely.
True.
So we'll go 1-on-1 and what you think WWE does wrong with building a baby face, and who they could probably bring up to become that baby face. You want to start, Minion, because you've been really want to talk about this topic.
So the lack of baby faces in WWE is quite alarming. I think the reasons why they don't have any good baby faces is simply because Vince McMahon does not let you take on your own personality. This is definitely documented. He always tries to change something about you. He doesn't let you be your own persona. WWE, the roster is in trouble because you had Dean Ambrose, who was smoking hot, and then he drops the title. Who did he lose to again?
It was Wyatt.
He lost to
He lost to AJ.
He lost to AJ Styles, right?
About to AJ.
Kudos to AJ. AJ had a great monster heel run. But it seems like WWE is only fixated on one particular babyface that dominates the company, and it's all Cena. If you ever hear all the comparisons, it's always John Cena. I think what they need to do, since they've already started doing it, is now you have to keep Bobby Roode a super babyface. You have to. Yeah. It seems like the crowd is really into him because
I love the smiling vignettes that he be having, the little pictures and shit like that.
Yeah. But even them, they're gonna change something about him also. You can just see it. The entrance has changed now. When he raises his arms, it doesn't say Rude anymore. It just says Rude automatically. Like little things like that, they're already starting to change. And then he turns around, he puts his arms up, and it says Glorious.
There you go.
I mean, let's hope they keep it that way.
I mean, I just want to see for once. I want to see a baby face run. I mean, the company is just dominated by heels.
They dropped the ball with Ty Dillinger, by the way. Because he could have had at least a decent mid. If he'd have just got a decent mid-card run when he first got to SmackDown, he'd have still been hot right now. Seriously.
Yeah.
He still gets the reaction. It's just that they don't use him on TV enough. You have the same thing with Sami Zayn. He's a naturally babyface. You could build him up as a babyface, as the underdog babyface like Daniel Bryan was when he came in and shit like that. That you can have them lose a lot, but then when it comes to that big moment, you have them take the belt to have them have that big moment, and that changes everything. Sami Zayn is the biggest example of that. You could easily do that with Sami Zayn, and he's actually pretty decent on the mic too. That's the hard thing also, the fact that a babyface doesn't have to be great on the mic. They just have to be able to react to what the heel's doing. And a lot of times they don't, or they're not good at that. I don't blame Vince to a full extent with this, the fact that Even Jericho, Edge, Christian, they all go and they had the balls to actually talk to Vince McMahon and say, no, I don't like this. Let's do it this way. Let's try this way. A lot of these guys now are walking on eggshells and they're like, you know what? If I say it, I might get in trouble and stuff like that instead of actually talking about it.
Or just following the company line. Just like, yes, sir, no, sir. Yeah. I'll do whatever.
Exactly.
But those guys you just mentioned are legends. And they already had the credentials.
But it was even before they were legends. They were talking back. Jericho, when he first came back to WWE, he got a lot of heat because they gave him a full push when he first got in. But he still didn't not say no to. He was able to easily say no to Vince McMahon when he didn't feel like something was right in the thing. They had that already in them. Like even Edge and Christian, he was on his first IC title one. And they had him do certain things. They were like, nah, that ain't going to be right. And they had no problem talking to Vince about it. If you actually convince him that it will work better, he will actually go with it. A lot of the guys now walk on eggshells, and they really don't do that no more.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a different breed, though. It's like, look at Finn Balor. Look how over he was in NXT. He's but he's a sideshow now. And like it's ridiculous how much of a sideshow he is.
Yeah, this guy was the first ever Universal Champion, and now it's like, oh yeah, he's just gonna fight Bray Wyatt. No chance to go back for the belt that one he never lost, by the way.
But then again, you also have a story of him going back for that title. So basically, you have him building up rivalries until he goes back for the title.
And WWE, they had a good thing when they had Bray Wyatt with the little baby face turn when he won the title, but then he dropped it so quick.
They got confused with that.
That was so weird.
He went to Raw, and all of a sudden we had to hate him again. I didn't understand that.
Randy was like, "Give me the belt, or I'm leaving."
That was. I don't know whose fault that was.
I blame Randy.
I blame Randy too because he didn't need the belt.
Randy Orton was a heel. I say he was a heel champion. I don't even say he's a babyface champion. I hated him.
You were the only one booing him. That's why
I was booing him. Like, fuck you, Randy.
Yeah.
At his TV in his house.
Still, like himself. He still gets the cheers, even though
I wasn't by myself.
Majority people say he's still. It's very weird.
I'm never alone.
Gotcha. But I know.
I also think a lot of these baby faces, they just don't know how to. Some of them, they just don't know how to present themselves correctly. They don't know how to work the crowd exactly. Like a lot of them, they just stale. That's why I really loved Dean Ambrose. Everybody could say he does the same thing. But he's exciting. He knows when it's time to turn it up. There's a lot of guys that cannot turn it up.
Yeah, he's definitely way more entertaining than, let's say, a face Seth Rollins. That's a fucking snooze fest right there.
Yeah.
Well, I give Seth a little more credit now. It's working now with Seth. It's working a little more because they gave him.
In the beginning, though?
Yeah, no, in the beginning it was bad. But it's also because they try to keep him heel. Exactly, they try to keep him heel. It should have never worked that way because after, what was that, Money in the Bank when he did the pedigree to Roman?
Yeah.
Right then and there, I mean, he was getting a crazy pop. I mean, you got to turn him face.
That was when they supposed to.
Wasn't he feuding with Finn Balor before this whole thing went over?
When he got injured?
Like, yeah, when Finn Balor got injured, wasn't that like the heated rivalry? That's who he won the belt from, right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't really a rivalry
for the belt.
It was like a tournament or something that happened.
Yeah, it was at the end of the belt. He didn't like win it from him. He beat him to get it. But like when he came back, they had that 4-way thing when it was kind of like centered with those two. So even the little side feuds just disappear. It's crazy. Yeah. There's no consistency, so you can't build anybody up. You know?
Because even NXT has a problem too. NXT hasn't made a baby face that went up to Raw. They're all pretty much for heels. Except for Nakamura, which unless they had a natural charisma, which Nakamura, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn all had. They actually had the natural crowd reaction even before they got there. So they just rolled their coattails wise, but they haven't really built a full baby face. The one they have that they could easily build was like No Way Jose. Johnny Gargano was one of them. that he's a national baby. But then again, it goes to my point. Johnny Gargano's already a nacho babyface as well.
Right.
Yeah, true.
I say if they're gonna build anybody, they should build No Way Jose, because he's got an NXT following, but not like not that many people know him.
Yeah.
At least Gargano, he's got the indie stuff that people really know him.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't need the help.
Yeah, like from NXT to like the development, WWE has not made of like a full babyface off their like development besides the ones that came in from the indies.
Right.
I mean, so currently on the main roster, then who would you try to build as a top babyface?
On SmackDown, again, I'll easily say Sami Zayn is the easiest one on SmackDown you could easily build as a babyface. Mm-hmm. He has a crowd reaction. He's a national face. You could have him lose, like say for instance, you could have him get his ass kicked half the time on SmackDown, but not lose matches, but just like always get jumped and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, when the big match comes in, you have him win it, and that would be a fucking huge reaction. He can have a decent run with that. You don't need the babyface does not need a long title run, but they need at least a couple months just to build their character up. So when they lose it, they can easily get it back, and they still have the momentum.
The problem with Sami Zayn is that once he got transitioned to SmackDown, he was a big player. He was in the main event for at least a month straight. He was closing the show, and then all of a sudden, he's pay-per-viewing with Mike Kanellis. What is going on with that?
That's more.
Right, that's a huge drop off.
That's a huge drop off.
That's more dumb booking and like, oh, let's do it like this then, and then instead of actually doing it correctly, kind of thing. And again, it's a big issue.
The booking's been lazy as fuck lately because I'm seeing the same matches every 5 weeks.
Like they got guys like, why would you stick Sami Zayn with Mike Kanellis when you can stick like Mojo Rawley or something? Just stick one of the house, one of the homegrown dudes there, like
or Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, somebody, but even he's got his feud with
Aiden English.
Thank you. I keep getting stuck on his names. Was the
Maestro?
He's the only one that still has a first and last name.
True enough.
Listen, they're gonna try to take away that English or Aiden. No, they'll take away Aiden.
English.
Just gonna call him White English.
Like, White English.
But seriously, they're not using it. There's a lot of people just sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah.
Still, man.
Sami Zayn's one of them.
I'm still not really feeling Gable being stuck in a tag team. Like I prefer him to fight Shelton Benjamin, if anything.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna lead up to.
I'm really hoping they lose like the next 2 matches. Then it's like, yo, bro, what's up? And then Shelton Benjamin just super kicks him.
That's gonna be slow building.
Yeah.
That's gonna be they win the tag titles, and then he becomes the golden standard again.
Isn't he bald?
He is.
He's bald, but he can have gold trousers, gold knee pads.
I mean, he could still color his little pelitos that grow back in like gold or whatever.
Exactly.
Sorry, I went real Spanish there for a second.
Didn't Animates have something? We'll paint your head. We shine your head and shine your head bald for 1995.
The one guy I would like to see them build upon as a baby face, and it's gonna sound pretty like funny to you guys, but I say Kevin Owens because he can easily get the crowd. He's got the crowd already, and it's easy for him to turn into a baby face. He just has to be like a Stone Cold Renegade. He can do that easily, he is the best talker easily.
Actually, he's in the realm of AJ where all he has to do is feud with a heel once, and he's automatically face.
Yeah.
You put him against Jinder Mahal.
That's it. It's over. It's over. He's top babyface.
That's who they should start building on.
See, but our complaint is we should get other people. Like, we shouldn't rely on just him. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're just going to get him versus whoever for 3 weeks straight.
I get that. But then look what they just did with Ty Dillinger. He had the U.S. Open title, and it was an afterthought. Why? Because he got destroyed real fast because Corbin interfered, and then AJ finished him off. It's like Ty Dillinger went from pay-per-viewing against Bobby Roode 2 takeovers in a row, and then he's a jobber because he just lost to Aiden English recently on another pay-per-view on a kickoff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I understand where they say that we have to be patient, but it drives us nuts because we know the capability and the talent that these guys possess, and the fact that the shows can be so much better if they would just showcase a different side because we know what's coming already.
Yeah,
true enough.
Yeah,
man,
that is true.
Damn, he's criminally underused. It's almost hilarious how badly utilized he is.
Yeah,
like it's legitimately a joke. He was the biggest thing at the Rumble when he came out. I was like, wow.
And they should have
like, yo.
So
they should have built that momentum. They should have really built that momentum.
Like his momentum went off a cliff. Like holy shit.
Yeah, they were just like, nah, we're not gonna, and that's it. It's like somebody just said nah.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened was he went to the Royal Rumble and he didn't debut to SmackDown until like 3 months later.
For sure.
Yeah, like where the fuck was he?
Yeah,
he was pay-per-viewing.
Yeah, so it was like, really, like how you gonna have him come in and then not build him?
Weird.
So what's
I don't
the
know.
point?
Yeah.
Might as well just fucking go back to NXT and win the title. Might as well.
Something.
Exactly.
I think he could have did that after the Rumble.
I think he
not
should've won
debuted
the
on
title.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
just went back to NXT. Like, how was that? Oh, it was great. And then somebody attacks him. Like, who was the champion? Bobby Roode at the time?
Yeah.
And him beat Bobby Roode.
They could have did an easy babyface build for him against Bobby Roode. I think he should have took the belt from Bobby Roode.
Yeah, and then Bobby Roode just win it back, and then Ty goes to SmackDown.
There you go.
That could have went way better.
There you go. You know how simple that was? Then also you have what do you guys think of Enzo in 205 Live?
Has he
could
fought
be
yet?
Fun. Yeah, he had a tag match.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. But
of course.
Nah,
yeah,
I'm waiting for singles. Nah, fuck that. I'm waiting for singles.
That was gonna destroy him.
I know. That's what I want to see.
I love the vignettes of him just backstage laughing. That's the best.
Yeah.
He's bringing entertainment to 205 Live. That's the impact he's having. I mean,
that's the only way they could really use him.
Yeah, because the backstage segment he had when he was doing that 3-way tag and he was pretending he was the coach, and he called Cedric Alexander the dough because he's on the rise. I thought that was like clever as all hell and cheesy. And he says, I'm Muscles Marinara. There's certain things Enzo does is really entertaining. Hopefully he keeps progressing on 205 Live. I mean, the crowd was really into that match. It was actually a really good match.
Yeah.
They just need that little extra.
Yeah, that helps when you actually have it going like that. But I personally turned it off. I didn't really care for 205 Live this week. I watched the Gallagher Kendrick match. No, it was.
Oh yeah,
they're still feuding. Jesus Christ!
No, I think it's over. I think he's dead. They carted him out. He was bleeding.
Yeah,
who was bleeding?
Jack Gallagher.
Oh,
yeah. Kendrick smashed his face into the stairs and he called him bad. Yeah.
He caught him with some cool tricky stuff where he tied his foot under the ropes with the cord. That was pretty cool. I was like, at least there's somebody who's bad that will use the environment against you, like sort of like Alexa Bliss. But there's no dudes that really do that stuff.
Yeah.
So Kendrick's really the one, though. So
true enough. I was thinking about a point that some people are making is that these guys need to stop being stuck on 205 Live.
Right, they need to venture out.
It's like he deserves better.
Yeah,
like I think Brian Kendrick deserves better. Like he 205 Live is a charisma vacuum. Like,
yeah, because even half his shit was questionable. Like him dressing up as Jack Gallagher and that vignette showing all the pictures of English. It was just ridiculous.
Dumb. But I was just saying, like, That's stuff that's wasted there. Like even that effort is just like, does anybody here care? Nah.
Nope, they don't want to go home.
It's just that's what I mean. Like that type of effort should be rewarded with people like the Fashion Files is rewarded for, them going out and doing something different. Like
that shit's off the rails.
People are trying, and they're stuck on bad shows. So
yeah,
they got to fix that.
You know what's funny is the fact that with how Breezango was able to do their shit is the fact that when they're not being seen on TV, they started using the YouTube vignettes as a thing to get them noticed. And when their YouTube vignettes started getting a lot of attention and started getting a lot of to watches and shit, then they were like, all right, why don't you try this on TV and shit like that? Because Breeze started doing it when Fandango got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the search for looking for Fandango because he didn't know what happened to him. So he did this whole detective series of him looking for a Fandango. And it was on YouTube. Yeah, it was on YouTube. Like they have all this, they have that to take advantage of. So he took advantage of that, and that's how he was able to get that over. And then he was able to do what they're doing now. Even though I do want to see them like do more. Let me
just give you an example of just how bad 205 Live is. There's a whole angle with Rich Swann. Mm-hmm. And what's his boy's name? The Philam Flash, TJ Perkins. But what does he call TJP? Is when he's bad, right?
Yeah.
So TJP is teetering on being heel, but he's just like more of a nuisance to Rich Swann. So he has a match, right? And the guy goes to take his crutch, and it's like, apparently he never really needed the crutch, so he faked an injury for what reason, I don't know. I don't know who he was tricking with that. And then the crutch doesn't get used. And then at the end of the match, he comes in and beats up the guy that Rich Swann beat up.
This makes pointless.
This makes no sense. And then Rich Swann is standing outside shaking his head like, what are you doing? Which I don't even know what effect that's supposed to have when he's being a dick to him. Why would you care about his opinion? But so then this isn't over. Rich Swann gets up on the apron, looks for a second, has one crutch in hand, and then I don't know if they were teasing like, oh, maybe Rich Swann's going to go to the dark side. He's going to hit him with the crutch. No, he walks in and hands TJ Perkins the crutch so he can walk. So I assume so he can walk out of the ring properly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, what is this even? There's a man who just got beat by a guy who wasn't in the match in the middle of the ring. These two guys are just being stupid. And it's like, is his leg really hurt or is it not?
So many questions.
This whole thing is weird. It's just like this is a vacuum where ideas seem to go to die.
Yeah. You want to know how pointless that was? Look at Corey Graves commentating on it. He was so flustered.
Yeah, he was confused as hell. Yeah, I forgot to point that out. Like it was.
He said, Vic. He goes, maybe TJP never needed the crutch.
Exactly. So you at home are left to interpret that how.
He said, He said, and TJP hits him with a back spinning kick. Maybe he needs that crutch.
Wait, was that this week? That just
yeah.
All right,
same leg.
That's ridiculous.
He used the same leg.
Yeah, exactly.
It was taped in everything, and it's just like
what Vic Joseph doing? Sounded lost too.
And then he continues to limp his way out of the ring, which is like
I was dying.
Hurt. I was like, you stupid. Why are you using the same leg?
So he did his own thing, or again,
he taped it so he wouldn't forget and still forgot.
Yeah.
Again, where ideas go to die. 205 Live. That should be the tagline. Like, these guys deserve better. Like,
want to see a storyline end awkwardly? 205 right after SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. It's like wrestling improv almost.
Yeah. That kind of just like that. I think that was what drew me off to the show, and I'm like, okay, I'm not watching no more.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame you. I'm done
with this week. Let's see what's else on.
But back to that topic, who you gonna build? What babyface can you build when you have that as? I feel bad for Neville. That's his kingdom.
You know,
right? He's the king of a bunch of fucking dunces.
I know.
It's literally
like, what
apes.
do
Apes in the keyboard. What is the thing with the apes in the keyboard? Eventually, it'll type you out like Shakespeare. It's gonna have to wait forever.
Eventually, that's the word. Eventually,
it's just
so it's Neville talking, and you look down, it's just a bunch of monkeys throwing shit at each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm the king of the cruiserweights.
And Brian Kendrick's in the corner, just fucking going crazy. He's just cowering.
He's
just cashing a check.
In 205, there's two people that still get like cheered as a babyface: Rich Swann and Jack Gallagher. Those are the two that gets the most pop out of the baby faces that they have. I would have loved them to build Cedric Alexander to fight Neville, because I think that match would be incredible if they actually fought. But they don't even have him that high of a pedestal to even do that with. But I think him and Neville could have some amazing matches.
I think him, even when he got injured, they still wouldn't have did nothing with him.
Yeah. And sadly, I think that was it. They started with that Alicia Fox bullshit, and then you saw where that escalated to. And now
he's like, let's see if he could dig himself out of this one. Nope.
But now they're both, him and Noam Dar are both back in the same place they started. It was forward momentum.
Now Dar's jobbing to Enzo because they trying to build him as a baby face.
Yes.
He should take a cue off of Matt Hardy and the fact that he was still trying to build weight into 205, and every time that you see Enzo on screen, he has sweaters and sweatpants on, trying to lose the weight for the fight.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah, Matt Hardy did that. You remember when he was Cruiserweight champion versus Rey Mysterio?
That was when they still had the weight rule, right?
Yeah, it was 220 at the time. So
okay.
The weight rule was 220, but he always had to lose the weight before he had matches because he went over the weight. So he's like, God, he always had the sweatpants and the sweating, that fucking garbage bag shit that they wear to sweat.
Yes.
He used to wear that to the ring. He actually used to wrestle on that. He used to get passed out in the ring and shit.
Jeez, man.
Love seeing people wear those things in the ring.
Or something? Oh, is that something else?
That was version 1.
Okay.
That was back in version 1. Shannon Moore used to help him at the Crash Holly at the time. Was too.
R.I.P.
That whole crew.
Yeah.
Wait, R.I.P. to who?
You say Crash?
Oh yeah, R.I.P.
Oh,
R.I.P. to Scale too.
Yo, how they used to bring a Scale to the ring? Come on, dog. Oh, I listened to there was a podcast with Chris Jericho and Dave Meltzer about Chris Benoit. Did you hear that? Where they talked about his legacy being erased and how Jericho can't count the matches he had anymore because they're stricken from the record because of Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you don't want to celebrate a murderer, but the matches he had still were iconic. I don't know if any of you ever seen when he was Wild Pegasus.
Oh, versus Gold Lion.
Those matches were crazy. But he mentioned something out that pertains to 205 Live, which was there was that whole era of WCW, and when they transferred over, they had that whole rule of the weight thing. And it was that was literally back in the day when they used to hold guys in his position down. If you were at that weight, you could be held down. And he's like, it's such a waste how people in that weight class still are underutilized. So
yeah,
even the vets know, come on, man, that time is already past. You gotta let these smaller guys. You gotta let the big guys learn how to work with them. You know, or even just the heavyweights in general. Roman Reigns need to fight dudes smaller than him. Same thing with Ambrose and whatever. They need smaller tag teams too.
And we've seen good matches off of them too. My big example, Kalisto and Baron Corbin. Or
Cedric Alexander and Grand Metalik. They have a tag team. They're coordinated. Give them a shot. You know what I mean? There's nobody getting shots.
Yeah, like if you're not using them on the direct show, you could have them run a tag team, like have a tag match and just start building tag teams and whatnot too. Because you guys,
God forbid so God forbid you add them in like to the Raw tag team division real quick, have a match or two against the Hardys, or just to get showcased.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
Matches and shit.
You know what the saddest thing is though? When you see a jobber, when you see somebody fighting a jobber, and it's like you could be fighting a 205 Live person, or an NXT person. You could be fighting somebody who's not that popular. Like, give them a break
and give them a good match. Like, give them
exactly.
Let them showcase themselves and shit like that. Like honestly, you could see the Miz fight like T.J. Perkins when he first came in. And fight him like title for title, like have a champion versus champion match, not for the title, but you gotta have them have a match and actually have a good match.
If you want to do something,
did that too. Like you could have easily had 2 tag matches. They did it with the women, like they added the women with the cruiserweights. They could do that with the main roster too. Like just have it in one show. Like they did it a little bit in WCW with a point that Chris Jericho, when he went to the TV title, when he went to the US title. But it took him a lot of like teeth pulling in order to do that shit.
Yeah, he was telling it was hard as shit, and they never got to get shining that world title fixture because of the NWO. Yeah. They were like, it was bad. Like you were held down.
Yeah, and it was
if you were a cruiserweight, there was no way you were getting up there
because all those guys were booking their own matches.
So it was crazy.
Yeah,
and it's not that time now, so it still bugs me out that these people don't get a shot to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, why put these jobbers over? Put your own guys over.
Like, how Triple H
is that old school?
Yeah. Triple H is getting more used to these guys.
Yeah, it's like that old school mentality of keep the bigger guys in and the littler guys, like, in the mid cards and just keep them there.
Not even mid, lower. They're lower than that. They don't even, like, this is what I'm saying is, when like Dean Ambrose had the IC title, there was nobody for him to fight, but 205 Live still existed, where there are people who, just because they're in a lower weight class doesn't mean skill wise they can't fight him.
Yeah,
right.
So there's always underutilized talent because they're segregated to the show.
Yeah,
and otherwise you'll see every once in a while somebody like a Braun Strowman or The Miz, or it was recent. There was a jobber fight recently on SmackDown. And it was just like, what the hell? Oh, I think it was a woman's job for Tamina. Woman's jobber fight. When she could have fought a girl from NXT.
Yeah.
Right. She could have fought Billie Kay.
But then again, they don't want it. They did use Billie Kay once as a jobber. I forgot who she jobbed. No, she jobbed on SmackDown. I forgot who she jobbed to, but she was on SmackDown for like one episode and whatnot. But then again, you don't want to waste like a name like Billie Kay and Peyton Royce when they get debut and shit. They have that she jobbed before kind of thing. They don't want you to see that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
But they shouldn't have it be a job match. That's the thing they have to change. They have to get rid of that and like have, if she has her own persona, let her have it.
Yeah.
But let her come out to the
They even did that with Oney Lorcan. Like he had a crazy match on SmackDown. I think it was with Kalisto.
Yeah. And
I just mean a good match.
Eliminate the jobber match, and just put it lower profile. That's it.
Yeah.
Lower profile people.
Like I understand when that comes into play. Like say for instance, you're trying to build someone like Braun Strowman. So yeah, you throw a bunch of people at him to do it, but little by little you add someone that could make him last a little longer. But I understand that in that aspect, but not all the time and things like that.
It's just that some people they need to learn. They all need to learn how to work together, because then you get bad matches when you get it out. Whenever they give the odd whenever like how Ray was when. You know how odd that was to have him fight like Undertaker and Big Show and but if they had never fought him or any other cruiserweights, they wouldn't know how to work with him at all. And it would just seem awkward and clumsy. So, you just sometimes I just feel like they need to put these people who don't work with them, give them a hand. They don't have to beat them. They don't have to beat them. But how are we ever going to get Kalisto in a main title, picture if he's never fighting main title guys?
Yeah, anyone relevant for that title. Yeah, that makes sense.
What show is he in now?
He's supposed to be on Raw, right?
Yeah, he's on Raw.
He should fight Roman Reigns. Just once.
But anybody who's in the North title picture.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I said,
no, I know anybody, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying anybody. I'm just saying like he could fight somebody like Roman Reigns. Why not?
True
you
enough.
know what I'm saying?
If Balor could do it, he could do it. They're about the same size.
True enough. Yeah, there you go. Like there's guys there.
Yeah, you have a lot of talent. They should be used all around, and not just for the division that they want them to do. Even though, like, I understand they have their own show, but yeah, just showcase them in regular matches. If they're not gonna just showcase them. They don't have to always fight each other and stuff like that. Show their strengths, show their weaknesses.
And that goes back to the point that builds baby faces because Kalisto's a baby face.
Yeah.
And he had to reach to the dark side of Lucha, but he's still good. So
exactly,
was that what that is?
That's
the
what
dark side of Lucha.
The dark side of Lucha.
All
right. What? Pentagon Dark is the only one who can call himself that.
No, but I'm saying, I wasn't expecting it. That's all.
Well, it's just all around. Do you want to talk before we go to the main thing? Do you want to talk about just that one promo that's got the world on fire with Roman Reigns?
Yeah, they can get into that.
Not being able to hold his own and just
he crumbled. He crumbled compared to John Cena's.
I feel all right. Here's my take on that whole situation. I feel bad for him because the way wrestling is situated, he has to be a wrestler who can do well in the ring, do well in the public, and do well on the mic at a superstar level, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking now maybe even to him that some of that stuff is less important, and I think in general it's less important. Like he doesn't need to be that good on the mic because the things that he should be saying aren't that hard to say. He should really just be saying, "I'm going to kick your ass." Why are we talking? Like you know what I mean? He should just be dismissive as he's already walking around with a nonchalant attitude. Why should he have to verbally combat John Cena? Like I feel he shouldn't have been set up in that situation in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I see your point.
He doesn't have the strength, but I don't think he needs that strength because of his character, of who they're trying to make him portray.
He should have just punched John Cena in the mouth.
He should have just punched him in the mouth. He should have just stood there, started shaking, and then just speared him or something. Like they shouldn't have let him hang. They shouldn't have hung him out there to dry. Like that's God. At least 10 years of just him being that good on the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the professor of thugonomics.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
My big thing with that, and there's things that Roman Roman needs to fucking just go the heel direction. Like I think he'll be better used as a heel. Like when they ever started chanting Taker, he could have just said, "I retired him."
It doesn't help that there's pictures leaking of like he's supposed to come back.
No, but everyone was yelling Undertaker.
No, I know.
If he would have just said, "I retired him," how much heat he would have got.
True enough.
He still gets heat every time he brings it up too.
Yeah, so like there's things like that with Roman that you have to just like, yo, we can't do nothing with this. Just let him be a fucking heel. Like he needs to. He's one of those wrestlers. As much as we had so many heels, he's been needing to go heel for like 3 years now. This is the character that you can actually probably make a lot of money as a heel than as a babyface. Is the fact that he's gonna get that. He's gonna land up getting cheered eventually as a heel.
True enough.
But yeah, all he had to do with that last thing that he said was just fucking punch him in the mouth.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I thought was gonna happen, and then he just kept going, and I was like, "Why is he still going?"
Yeah,
and just he got hit with the ultimate line when he just got called out. He's like, "You know, this is a promo," and it's just like you see him freeze. It's like, why would you even? That's your time to act. Fuck talking. Oh, you call me out? Well, fuck it. I'm just gonna knock you out now. Like, again, my gripe is not with him, the person. It's just that, like everybody hints that somebody's got their hand up his ass, making him do what they want him to do. Like he's not able to be himself.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, it's starting to show big time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I feel about that. Like, don't set the guy up to fail like that.
I agree. And again, like I said, they should have just had him punch him in the mouth. Like, don't need like Roman. You don't need to say shit. Go punch him. Right. You punch everybody else.
It was like, listen, dog. There's nothing else you could say right now. You might as well just hit him. That would have been me.
You expect Taker to stand there talking all that shit, or Kane or somebody? Like he's supposed to be an ass kicker. They don't talk.
No, they don't talk. Kane would have chokeslammed him.
Exactly. A big boot should have went his way. That's it. It should have been like a big boot.
See, but that brings me back to my point of when I had said in the beginning that Vince McMahon does not allow you to be your own entity, your own personality.
No, he allows you to have it.
In the beginning, they gave Roman all these. They gave Roman all these scripted lines. Remember, he was saying nursery rhymes. He said "golden goose" and "laying eggs" against the Big Show. And he told Seth Rollins, "You ain't nothing full of suffering succotash, son." Like things like that. I'm sorry. The promo,
bad line.
Romo's promo game, it was getting better once he was saying less. He says less, he acts more. That it's just better that way. What Cena did was just basically just outclass him, and he showed the world he's just not on that level.
He really did. The way he froze up after like what he said, sheesh.
Roman should just got pissed and punched him in the mouth. That's all I said. That could have been the best thing they could have done with that.
His character should not be talking like that. Like that's just it bugs me, man. Like
it makes him sound whiny almost.
But everybody has said that before on this podcast. That also Roman is actually has a lot of personality, but you don't get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see it. Why? Because they want to build him as this Super Saiyan, Super Cena Part 2.
Yep.
It's not going to work. He cannot talk. He cannot out-talk a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
He can't out-talk me if I was in front of him.
But he don't need to. And that's the biggest thing is that he don't need to. And they don't need to have him talk. That's the biggest shit.
Well, the company put him in a bad prediction right there, in a bad position when they had John Cena and him face off and they were ready to talk. And he said, "Oh, so they boo you because you think these people boo you because they want to see you turn into a bad guy?" Right then and there, it was just dull. And then he goes, number 2, he goes, number 1, you suck. Yeah, that got an ovation. And then number 2, he goes, they boo you because, and all of a sudden he froze. He froze. He lost his line. You saw the gears turn. And then Cena cut him up. He goes, "It's a promo, kid."
Oh,
he goes,
the best part of that promo was The Miz.
Yeah.
No, the best part is the promo is when Cena told him, what's sad is I can do this. I'm a part-timer and I can do this better than you can full-time. That was like the knife right there.
Yeah. Oof.
And it's just like
felt that shit.
And he said, "I'm still here because you can't do your job." Like, wow. Like, I don't know if those are lines being fed to him. I don't think they are.
It's just like he's just needs to act when somebody says that to you as a character. They gotta script him better though.
Exactly.
Like,
throw the chair at him.
We know he can't do but a certain amount of things. So when he's standing there and it's time to, have their little table read, he should not be scripted to be standing listening to this nonsense. He should be, fist punching him in the face.
Like, you know how much Roman sucks in storylines? Remember he was feuding with Jericho and Kevin Owens?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot he was even part of that.
Yeah.
That's how much they overshadowed him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was trying to remember just now. I was like, wait, who are they feuding with? Right, they were feuding with Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns never said anything important because all you thought about was The List and Kevin Owens.
True enough.
they overshadowed the fuck out of him, and it was on some funny shit. It wasn't even on like a serious like rivalry type. So imagine Kevin Owens coming back and feuding with Roman Reigns. It's like he's gonna just run around him mic wise.
But see, they were doing good. That's the thing. It's the performers themselves. Cena's gonna put himself over at any and all costs. That's what you get. It's like, I guess if he doesn't feel that you need his little pat on the back, he's gonna step all over you. Because he ain't do none of that slick shit with Shinsuke when he could have. He didn't have to be Mr. Nice Guy. Same thing when he came back for AJ. He didn't have to be Mr. Nice Guy when he came back.
You know what really went wrong during this promo? Who gave Roman that material about Cena burying young talent? Why did he open his mouth and say that? That has been an ongoing record, and it keeps showing up, and it keeps going and going, and Cena just keeps murdering you when you keep bringing that up. So why would he say that?
And the worst thing is, why were they just standing there throwing around wrestling terms, insider wrestling terms?
It's just, yeah. It was great. It was great. Don't get me wrong, but it buried him.
It literally seemed like somebody put that whole thing together just for the internet, just to give them a nice wink and nod and be like, "This one's for you guys." And what happened? That didn't do either one of you a service, because it just, if you like Cena, it didn't put him over. He was already good on the mic. We know this. If you didn't like him, it just made you think he was more of a jerk. If you didn't like Reigns, now you're never gonna like him because you just like you saw him get clown.
He buckles like a belt out there.
And if you did see promise in him, it's just, you feel like, well, what the hell would you hang him out to dry like that for? Like, who doesn't like this guy in the back?
And this promo, it hurts Reigns because the top guys in the company, if you look on the history, they all can talk on the mic. Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, Jericho. I mean, these guys, they could all talk. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, they could all carry themselves in a feud in the mic. Roman Reigns is too stagnant. He needs to learn how to let go. And I think he did a pretty decent job after he remembered his lines, because he delivered that really well. I give him credit for that.
They didn't even stop letting him, stop making lines and let them fucking talk on their own.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest thing.
Listen, if you let Brock Lesnar curse, can you let Roman Reigns curse? I mean, come on. Let him curse.
When he broke the first bitch, it was just like, oh, I felt that my heart broke.
Yeah, right?
That's that time in the argument. You know that time in real life in an argument when you're jabbing and you're going back and forth and it's not too serious, and then somebody goes, "You a bitch," and you're like, "Oh, I hurt his feelings.
He had nothing left." Yup, he had nothing left.
And then he goes, "You a fake ass bitch," and I just go, "You didn't even feel that one, Roman. You didn't
right?
Stop."
I can hear it.
You know, if Roman gets a heel turn, he may need a female valet. He's gonna need something different. He's gonna need something.
You know,
I think he may need a shield just to fuck with people.
Roman just needs to be him when he's fucking here. He just has to be fucking an arrogant asshole. That's pretty much it.
I'm hoping he can do that.
He's halfway there now.
He's halfway
there now.
He could have did it on this fucking promo. When they fucking chanted Undertaker, he could have easily said, "I retired him." That would have got so much fucking heat.
But he does say that. He keeps going back to that. He didn't do it in
this fucking play. He didn't do it in this damn promo.
He did. He told Cena. He told Cena. He goes, "I did something you couldn't do. I retired I did something you didn't do.
Early on.
I retired the Undertaker."
No, as in talking to the crowd. He could have got a
when they
reaction off to the crowd.
When they're cheering him.
Exactly.
I get you.
That you have to work the crowd to. That's something that Jericho says all the time. You have to know how to listen to the crowd. When they fucking chant Undertaker and they're not focused on you, you say something to get them focused on you.
It's kind of like what Stephanie McMahon does when they chant CM Punk and then she just buries him all the time. Exactly. That's what you're basically saying.
Exactly.
I get it.
After this promo, they gave The Miz the biggest babyface reaction. Because when The Miz came out, he got fucking cheered.
He was. Thank you for
when did The Miz come out? In this promo?
Yeah.
He didn't come out in this promo, Jay.
They ended up being in the tag team.
Yeah, but that was against the club. The Miz had nothing to do with the segment.
Oh, yeah.
that was the week before that he went crazy. Yeah, he went crazy. And that's another thing. That was just mind blowing that they had a tag team right after with the club. Yeah. It was just like they set the club out there for what? The Good Brothers, as a matter of fact, right?
The Good Brothers.
Yeah. The Good Brothers.
They're not Good Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Everybody deserves better.
Great. That was a great one.
I want to get to this little thing, the list. All right, so PWI do a yearly list. I think it's from August of last year to August of this year. That's where the point is of their top 500 wrestlers of the whole industry.
August of this year and August of last year?
From August of last year to August of this year.
Okay, cool.
They do it, okay? So their top 10 wrestlers of the industry is WWE. This WWE heavy. I would say the reason why WWE gets a lot of the thing is because they are the main fucking.
Why is that hard to believe?
Yeah, like they are the main focus. Like New Japan is a big company, and yes, they have a bunch of people here, but WWE does more.
It's worldwide.
It's viewership, and that's where the money's made. So it has to be WWE heavy.
Yeah,
they got satellites in Africa, dog.
Yeah,
yeah, sure, but it's like 3 channels, and then they show wrestling here and there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
come on now.
Saying they announced that. I think that was on 205 Live. They announced that. I forgot what they said. They're now broadcasting in Africa.
Yeah, they got the network in Africa, so they have that one elephant with a satellite dish on.
Yeah, that's it. WWE elephant.
Yep, looks like Roman Reigns.
Oh shit! So break down this list.
All right, so I'm just gonna give you the top 10, and then I'm gonna give you some that people are disappointed where they're at, and also so you got Okada getting the number 1 spot.
Okay.
You got AJ Styles number 2, Kevin Owens number 3, Roman Reigns number 4, Kenny Omega number 5, Shinsuke Nakamura number 6, Dean Ambrose number 7, Samoa Joe number 8, Bobby Roode number 9, and The Miz number 10.
Ambrose number 7?
Yeah.
Miz number 10. Miz should be number 3.
Miz number 10? Wow.
Yeah, Miz should be way higher.
Why is Roman Reigns so high up? Why is he that high up? Why is he top 20?
Who, Reigns?
Yeah.
Reigns deserves that spot. He deserves that spot.
We just got through discussing how bad he is.
But
if you want to do it, match-wise, if you do it, he's had classics with AJ Styles, Braun Strowman.
I'm going to assume the list is encompassing the ones who can do both on a super high level. If it's out of 500, that's what I mean. Like,
this is pretty much the people that gets is all around the best matches. Like they sell the best matches. They have the merch. They have everything. These are the ones that are the most popular people that are in wrestling today.
So it's only just really the most popular though.
Yeah, these are the ones that are like the headliners and things like that. That they take over the shows and things like that. And as much as we hate Roman Reigns on the mic wise, wrestling wise is a whole different story.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's a different perspective. If you mean like not as an overall performer, if you mean literally just how popular he is, yeah, that's fine. No.
And then
the list makes sense.
Yeah,
but I still think this is too low. I think it's too low.
You know what? For Dean Ambrose and The Miz, I think that was for their rivalry and their rivalry only. The reason why they made the list because they actually made the IC title interesting.
But if you ask yourself, for The Miz this year, even from August of last year, how entertained have you been by The Miz? I would say he's very high on a list of any wrestlers I've seen in a year period.
Yeah, exactly.
Just his body of work,
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy he made the top 10 at least. Like I thought he was going to be like 25, 30. Because the ones that are a lot of people are disappointed with, and I wish that they went a little higher because once they had their tag team run, they've been really fucking good. Is Sheamus and Cesaro? They're like 54 and 55.
Oh wow!
What? Wow.
Yep. The Hardys are in the 20s. The New Day's in the teens.
So
Usos are in the teens.
Okay, so no tag team made it in the top. Oh no, but now
it's individuals. So basically, they go by the person and who's over and whatnot.
So Okada's number 1.
Okada's number 1.
Wow. I mean, it's hard to disagree. The guy's been champion for so long, and according to Dave Meltzer, he has nothing but 6-star matches, which I don't see it that way. I've only seen his matches with Omega that I think are probably like really high quality. But if you're gonna tell me that him versus Shibata was a 5-star match, I'm not going. Or 6 stars, I'm not going that far.
You know what I like? In the G1 Climax, he has some really good matches.
I've yet to watch any of that yet. I haven't seen it.
The G1 Climax, he did have some really good matches with like Tunga Tunga. He had a good match with Evil. He had a good match with what was that dude? Michael Ilgen. He had there was a lot. The Kenny Omega, him 3, the him versus Naito.
Where's Elgin on that list?
He had a lot.
Elgin was in the top 25.
He was in the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Elgin was nasty.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what number was Kenny?
Kenny was number
5, 3.
I think he was number 3.
Okay.
No, Kenny Omega is number 5.
He's number 5.
So it's Okada, AJ,
Owens.
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 And then
Reigns.
And then Reigns.
So who's number 1 on that list to you guys?
One Kenny from a year. Kenny.
Yeah. Kenny, why? Yeah. Why would you put Kenny at number 1?
He's had the most. Like, if I'm going to say purely based on what I've watched in a year's time, I've been more entertained by Kenny Omega in an entire year than by anybody else. Okay. And the only person second would be The Miz. In a year's span.
My number 1. So why do you think Kenny's number 1, Julio?
Oh, I didn't think Kenny's number 1. He's like number 3 to me.
So who would you put number 1?
Kevin Owens. I'll put AJ, Kevin, and then Kenny Omega. That would be my top 3.
That's how I would put it. I would put AJ number 1. He had one of the best years possible.
Yep.
Yeah. He had one of the best years. World heavyweight title.
Dude,
he stole the show in WrestleMania. He stole the show in WrestleMania against Shane McMahon. Right then and there. He stole it against Shane McMahon. WrestleMania. When nobody wanted to see that match. When everybody was killing it. And they had a great, great match. He just had a great year. He had a great year.
Yeah, they don't. It's a hard thing to count out. That just from those few already.
I would have put a Naito on this list.
Word.
Naito?
Yes.
I like Naito.
I would have put Naito on this list.
Where's the ticking time bomb on this list?
He's probably in the top. Again, it's 500 wrestlers, so there's a lot. I didn't look at the whole list. I just looked at the top 10. I actually looked at the top 25. He's not in the top 25.
Oh, that dude was amazing. That whole year he had that title.
Yeah.
What was it? The IGWP lightweight, I think it was. That was amazing what he was doing with that belt. Where was Ricochet?
Again, I didn't read the whole list.
Okay.
So again,
we're just gonna keep number 1.
There's 500 people on this list.
500 people.
And we're just gonna keep asking Jay Dizzle. All right, so where was Hanson Rusev on that list?
I got a bigger list. All right, here we go. I'll give you the 25 because there's a lot. All right. So I told you the top 10. Neville makes 11. Naito is 12. Orton was 13. Cole was 14. Wyatt is 15. Seth Rollins 16, Christopher Daniels 17, Bobby Lashley's 18, John Cena is 19, Kushida is 20, Will Ospreay is 21, Jericho is 22, Sabata is 23, Mundo is 24, Brock Lesnar is 25.
Now, hold on a second. I want y'all to think about this for a second. If you're going from a year span, how long has Jericho been out?
Since Mania.
So that's what, from August, that's 4 months exactly?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you subtract the 4 months that he was gone, do you think he would be higher than his spot is on the list?
Maybe 20.
Because I don't like
some
of these people just Randy?
Kushida's got to be higher than Randy Orton. I'm sorry.
Is anybody here going to fight for Randy being that high up on the list when we all said he was boring?
And Kushida's got to be higher than fucking Randy Orton. He's had a better year. He won the Junior G1 Climax, and he got his title back. He main evented.
Yeah, they put him on 20. And I don't even know why Brock Lesnar's here. Like, I think Jericho had more matches than him within the time span he had when he is now.
Exactly. Like, there's some stuff that's like I need to know how they're qualifying this list, because if you're going from a year, if they're literally saying from year to year, Brock Lesnar's had how many matches? 4?
3.
Seriously, 3? No.
3 or 4. No.
And
4.
Bobby Roode was number 10 on that list.
Bobby Roode is number 9.
That's well deserved, I think.
Yeah.
I still think though he should have been 10 and mid should have been. If you're gonna stay that low, like I don't know.
I'll do up to 40, and then you.
No, you don't got to do the 40 because those are a lot of names.
So all right, there's right after Lesnar is Sabre Jr., Eddie Edwards, Finn Balor, Peter Dunne, Jinder Mahal, Marty Scurll, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Braun Strowman, CJ Perkins.
Cody Rhodes should have been higher.
Dude,
now that's criminal.
The year of all years.
You know what? I would
Excuse me.
He has.
Are these just male performers?
Yeah.
Because who's missing on this list who had an incredible year was Alexa Bliss. She had a crazy year. And she's not even mentioned.
It's all male.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because I put her higher than Randy Orton.
Definitely. I put Bailey in front of fucking Randy Orton.
No, because if you think about what Alexa Bliss has done, she's won the SmackDown title twice and now the Raw title twice.
Or based on that merit, Asuka should be in the top 10.
But
exactly.
Asuka should be 1.
Asuka should be like number 4 or 1.
1.
1 because he's undefeated.
You know what's funny, and this is something I find funny. I'm just looking at the list, and number 40 is Nick Jackson. Number 41 number 41 is Sami Zayn, and number 42 is Matt Jackson. How the fuck how the fuck a tag team one dude is higher than the other?
Oh, wow, Sammy is Sammy's a cab driver now. That's what he is.
He's got the hat.
He's that low on that list that he's a cab driver?
He's my favorite character in Crazy Taxi.
He's got to have a better year for 2018. He's got to have a better year. I mean, wow.
All right.
Gardner is one of the best wrestlers ever in the world, and he's that low on the list?
Yeah. Again, this is a list of 500. There's 500 people in the list. So 40 is still pretty good.
I still don't know how Brock Lesnar's here.
Low. That's still
50
made it out of 500.
Yeah. 50 is pretty good. When you're in like the 300s, then you're like, shit, I got to question my career. No, you're in the top 20, you're top 50, you're like, all right, that's not bad. There's 500 people on this list.
And it's just like, they got to be talking money, right? They got to be talking money.
I think it's more drawing attention and all that shit too.
Why is Brock Lesnar so high up in that list?
Yeah, Alexa Bliss and Asuka definitely needed to be up on that list.
Well, there's no women.
No, there's no women.
There's no women on the list.
We're being biased. I get it.
Asuka should have been number 1.
Yeah, if you want to say it, because she broke that streak.
Yeah, thank God, because now Goldberg's not on the record list.
Yay.
That was
all right. Last but not least, Mae Young Classic. Did you guys catch it?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
No. All right. So I'll just say any standout matches that you would recommend.
I have 2.
Yeah, 2.
Go ahead, Mike. For me, it was Jazzy. How do you pronounce the name? Gabert?
Yeah, Jazzy.
And Abby Laith. It was.
That's the first episode. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Jazzy was just dude, they don't.
She was great.
Muscle badasses like that anymore. She's like the females. Like she looked impressive and she can go.
Yes,
which was dope. Like it wasn't a disappointment, and Abby Laith was just thickness incarnate. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was texting Jay Dizzle that Abby would be perfect for Nia Jax. Powerhouse.
She can move too.
Yeah.
And the other one that stood out for me was I guess everybody else, Kairi Sane and Tessa Blanchard.
I wish this was like a second, third round match. Because I think Tessa Blanchard should have been there longer.
You know what? Shout outs to Sarah Logan and Mia Yim. That match was good too.
That was very good.
That was very good.
That was very good.
I guess I had to watch this Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, I had 4 matches.
You got 4?
Yeah, Piper and Garnett was actually really good too.
Piper Given and Santana Garrett.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
That was very good.
And that girl moves too.
And that's a big girl, man.
True enough. She moves like that.
She could move.
Big point out. There's a lot of Australians in this.
Didn't notice that, but that one Australian girl, yo, she is like an Adonis, and she's a woman. Like the what was she, a volleyball player?
Yeah. Oh, you talking about
soccer?
Rhea Ripley or something?
Mm-hmm. The one that was she 20?
Yeah.
You mentioned to me she's like, she might win it because she's 20. Like, dude, I didn't know she looked like she is like what they really were looking for when they saw Charlotte. Yeah, she is gorgeous. Fuck, but she's built like fucking like how you picture Greek statues of dudes. Like, it's ridiculous.
I like Bella. My standout athlete so far that I like so far is creative, that they actually have some type of personality, and they're moving on. Toni Storm, she's got a lot of personality, and she looks good.
I figured she's like one of the big names in there.
Oh, I didn't know anything about her, so she stood out to me. And that I got to give it to Bella Belair. I think her name is Bella Belair. The black Belair. Young lady Bianca Belair. She's really good. She's got the 6-pack body, and she's creative. She uses her hair as a ponytail whip. I really like that. And she was good in the ring, man. She's physical.
Yeah. There's too many spears being used in this tournament.
Yes, because you had Sarah Dweeb or whatever her name was.
That match was terrible.
There's a lot of terrible matches in this Mae Young Classic.
There was some that okay.
You had that Dominican chick, Marty Bell, that she trained in Johnny Rod's wrestling school. Yeah. She was absolutely terrible against Rachel Devers, Paul Ellering's daughter. Oh, that was a botch fest. That was so bad.
That wasn't great. Coming off that thing that was on that awkward stare down with the other chick that they had the video of, like, ooh,
terrible.
Not a good look.
Yeah, but Kerry Cyan versus Tessa Blanchard, I think that was my favorite match.
Hard hitting, man. That was hard hitting.
Yo,
I wish Tessa Blanchard was there later. I think she should have been there longer. Because she's good. She's really good.
She is good.
She's improved. Because she wasn't as good as she once was, but she's all over the indie scene and she wins a lot of titles. So shout outs to her.
Yeah. Paul Ellering's daughter looks weird.
Yeah, she does. Man, I'm excited. Yeah, she looks weird, man. She looks like Paul Ellering.
Does she sound like him?
No.
No.
I got the blueprint to win the tournament.
Oh man.
Piper Given was really good.
All right, so we probably develop like when the Mae Young Classic like fully finishes the shit, we'll probably do a big podcast on it.
That elbow drop off the top.
Yeah, she does a beautiful elbow drop.
Beautiful elbow drop.
Yo, shout outs to Drew McIntyre because listen, I heard him on the I don't even know what to call it, the X-Pac show.
Yeah.
I got much respect to that dude after listening to him for like an hour and change. Like, that's a bright dude. And he's wrestled a lot of people that he didn't want to put them over because you give people big heads when you shout them out.
Yeah.
But he shouted out Velveteen Dream. And I was like, he was like, that dude is good. Like, you gotta watch out for him because he knows how to sell his ass off. He was saying but like,
I gotta listen to that.
Big guy.
Yeah. So he was also on Talk Is Jericho a week ago, and it tells you his story. Like, because he was in WWE. You never realized that he was only 20 years old in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the chosen one gimmick. He was only fucking 20 years old.
So he definitely had time to mature and come back. Now he's 32.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And now he looks like one of the Sanity people.
I forgot how big he is.
Yeah, everyone forgets.
Every time he faces to faces with somebody, he's always looking down at somebody. It's like, oh shit.
Like, I remember him versus Orny Larkin. I was like, God, fuck, how big he is. I forgot how tall he was.
Mm-hmm. But,
I got a couple questions. I'm gonna ask Jay Dizzle, and then you guys could interfere and you could you could answer it also. Baron Corbin, there's a lot of speculation that he's punished. Now, do you think he's actually punished, or is he being secretly pushed?
He's punished in a way that right now he's not going to get the world title, but they're still going to work him because he is a good character to be worked in WWE, and also AJ wants to put him under his wing to do it. So AJ is really vouching for him to get over.
I get that. Okay, what do you guys think?
I don't think it was really that serious. It might be more of an angle to like just to get people aware. Like I feel it's bad he had to sacrifice his Money in the Bank, but I don't think that was a punishment of anything. I think it was just it is what it is.
Yeah, again, his push for the WWE title, I don't think is gonna happen anytime soon because also you have Jinder Mahal as the heel champ. Until he loses it as a heel champ, I don't think you're going to see him in the picture yet. But I feel like they wasted the Money in the Bank with that. They didn't have to sacrifice the Money in the Bank for that, but they could have just had him lose matches and like have him go on first, but still keep him with the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. What do you think, Jap?
I think they mistakenly gave him the Money in the Bank. He probably shouldn't even won it in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was too soon for him to even get a chance at the title. Like, he just got there.
Yeah.
I don't know. My take on this is go ahead, finish up, buddy.
No, sorry, it just felt too soon to me. That's all.
My take on this, I feel like he's secretly being pushed because you heard of guys being punished and they're jobbing out and losing in like a minute. Look at Tyler Breeze. He was being punished literally for leaving early in the live events.
Yeah.
And Corbin, he got Cena. Granted, he got 1 AA and he was done. But now look, he got to show a little more of his personality when he was a special guest referee, and now he's gonna get AJ Styles. And he might even have a little feud with Ty Dillinger. I don't think that's a big punishment, to be honest with you.
No, it's not. But
I think it's just all speculation that the fans on the internet, we need to create because it needs to be, stuff needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I feel like people like put something like in the bigger. It may be worse than what it was.
I was gonna say it's like the Money in the Bank with the ladder match. They know that people react, and that Ellsworth helping Carmelo was gonna set the world on fire, and it did. So every time they do something controversial with their people, and it's like that the smart fans are always the ones to go, oh, it's because they did this, oh, it's because so and so did this, and it's like, well, regardless of the reason, you're talking about it and you're watching it, and so that's what ends up happening. So I feel like it's just another moment. It's just another one of those. Like, it wasn't a punishment. Like, he's still getting paid. He wasn't ready for the championship. We all know that. And it seems like they're not getting rid of Jinder, period, as champ, period, yet. Like, it's secure for a while, so nothing is really going to come in and just take him out of the position he's in, because whether the India deal is the main factor or not, they like him as that guy.
I got a couple more to ask. Now there's 2 matches coming up on No Mercy, right? Should Roman versus Cena have been saved for WrestleMania?
Yes.
Yes. I would have preferred if one of them had a belt.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't know. It doesn't feel as special as it should.
Yeah. It feels rushed.
What do you think, Jap?
Yeah, because coming from like how it even started, it's just John Cena showed up. Yeah, I just want to fight Roman Reigns. There's no like real reason. It's just I just want to fight him.
Like, you would think they at least would have set it up for SummerSlam.
Right, a bigger pay-per-view.
I don't think it's a big fight for No Mercy. I'm like,
I fear this may end up like Rusev.
Yeah. And my second part, should Brock versus Braun have been saved for WrestleMania?
No, that's fine.
No.
Maybe they need a reason to get the belt off of Brock. I don't know.
I think they should have saved that for WrestleMania.
Nah, That's fine because they already were fighting, so it goes right into it. I'm fine with that.
I think there could have been a lot more. Like it could have been like a real special match. It could be for WrestleMania.
I think maybe they just want Braun to like legit take the belt from Brock solo. Maybe that's why they didn't want him to win the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah,
because it would have looked better.
It just feels like they don't. If you wait too long, people, what do they call it, like pushes or whatever, the momentum will just expire. Like, how long are people going to be behind Braun? And like, do you think he's going to be hot until WrestleMania?
I think so.
Brock Lesnar can fall off the planet, come back, and still be hot. Braun Strowman, they got to keep working.
Still being booked as a heel,
and then he's going to get, if he gets hurt, God forbid, until then, like, he's got to stay healthy. Like, nah, just do it now. It's okay.
I'm fine with the match now. They booking Braun Strowman as a heel still, so like it doesn't really matter to me Lesnar, because I don't know what the fuck Lesnar is, and then Strowman's.
I don't know what either are.
Yeah.
Because one day Brock shows up, he's a heel, badass heel, destroying everybody, and so is Braun. But Braun is getting all the cheers because he's destroying everybody, and that's what the crowd wants. That's how bad WWE is on building baby faces and heels.
Sad thing.
I was gonna say, and they don't have stepdad syndrome because Braun is not gonna leave them and not come back.
Right.
Oh man! All right,
WWE's fault.
Right, I got some more. It's a good topic here.
All right,
the changing of the Raw Women's title for Sasha Banks, does that anger you?
It should have never left for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
but does it anger you? Does it anger you at all?
No, it should have never left Alexa Bliss.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't anger me. It just makes me sad. Like, what? Why are you doing this to people?
That's what I'm saying. It angers you.
Thing. No, it doesn't make me mad. I'm just confused. I'm confused.
It makes me mad because what is the point of Sasha Banks consistently dropping titles on 1 week of a title defense? This is insane. She was not like this in NXT. This is what I hate about sometimes the main roster is that all of a sudden these people forget how to fight and defend themselves. Like KO, when he had that Universal title, all of a sudden he couldn't beat anybody cleanly. He couldn't, he needed help all the time.
That was annoying as fuck to me. That bugged me the whole run.
I got a question because again, it was brought up in the Drew McIntyre interview. What do you feel about NXT being the third brand and not being a downgrade?
The third brand?
It earned its spot to be the third brand. It fucking kicked and screamed for it to be the third brand. I've been watching it from the get-go, so like it was a natural thing to me. But it being the third brand, it should have been. It does better than the fucking main roster half the time.
Yeah, NXT's better than Raw.
Especially pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's consistently better. But how do you feel about if there be another shake up, which is inevitable, I should say, that the rosters of all three get shaken up, not just we throw people from NXT and rip them off of the show and throw them into the main roster. We stop calling it the main roster and recognize NXT as a part of the brand.
I think it would be beautiful because that's where. No, you should want that because then you're
because you still don't have a development.
No, but you should want that
though. You cannot build anyone on the main roster. Use NXT as a
platform. But he's already talking about it as being a third major brand. So the reason why you should want that is so you can get your faction. Remember that faction? Have them taking over everything.
You know why he doesn't want it? Because Samson was in that group. Yeah. And that's why he's done with that idea.
Wow.
I don't say with NXT being the third brand like that. Just the fact that it's still a development. It's still bringing guys up and everything like that. I still want it to be that way in a certain way. And also, I want the damn tickets to still be cheap.
It would be great. It'll be like the ECW takeover again.
NXT takeover will be over $300 instead of $90.
Yeah, I'm talking about an entertainment aspect of what we would get on TV. We would get a hostile takeover. I could clearly see Triple H leading the troops and having a bunch of people. Maybe you might get Finn Balor back on a good side again.
My big
I don't know. I'm kind of with Jay Dizzle on this one. I'd rather pay $90 than win something.
Listen, it went from $55 to $90, so it's gonna go up again.
No shit. Wow.
But my biggest thing with that, with that said, is the whole thing with NXT. As long as Triple H is booking it and actually running it, then I'll be fine with it. But if it's still stupid ass writers doing this, shit,
hold on.
Nothing to do with it.
Okay, hold on. I don't mean to change the show. I just purely mean to inject new actual talent. So somebody from the main roster has a chance to come into NXT.
Yes,
they're not going to run. Fine. Like I'm not saying turn it into another show. No, it's have it still filmed and whatever.
That's why it's fine.
You can have somebody come down there and just wrestle.
Because let me ask you a question: is this pertaining to NXT still being a development brand? Because at this time, if you're going to call it the third brand, are you still going to call it a development stage?
No, I wouldn't want it to call it development, but I wouldn't want to change the feel of it. Period. Because this is what we say about 205 Live. If 205 Live was NXT style, everybody would love it.
Can you imagine that faction for a hostile takeover? That would be insane.
Yeah.
Especially because then Triple H is stealing all the Ring of Honor talent. Now I'm talking about you got like crazy entertainment. And you could put them on all three shows. That would be great.
It's just something to think about because
I like the
main
idea
two shows need help. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The main two shows, they do need help.
They need the Nexus takeover. That's it.
My biggest thing with that, again, like I said, if Triple H is if NXT writers do it, then I'm a little fine with it. But if this is the stupid like TV show writers that we have now on the main roster, I don't want nothing to do with it.
I could definitely see your point.
Yeah,
I can definitely see your point.
And then also they used to do that all the time in NXT. Jericho went back to NXT. He wrestled Bray Wyatt. Ziggler went back and fought Rusev. Cesaro went back and fought Sami Zayn. They used to do that in NXT. Guys used to go back and do a couple matches there and there. Titus O'Neil fought Neville for the NXT Championship.
Titus O'Neil was down there for like 4 months, right?
Yeah.
After he messed up on his promo. No, that was before he messed up on his promo. But he was down there for like 4 months, and he was actually a better wrestler when he was down there.
Natalia used to be there a lot. They used to go back down there a lot.
Yeah.
She had one of the best all-time matches in NXT, Arrival versus Charlotte.
Because here's the main thing is sometimes I feel that there needs to be an established wrestler there. That's a part of their. Because dude, for real, almost everybody in NXT is not WWE established in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So to have somebody like Mickie James be there to fight the women or what, like that was a cool thing when it happened with Asuka.
Yeah.
And she was there for a few fights afterwards, and then she left. But there needs to be somebody else there because when Asuka's gone, if she goes up or wherever, sideways or wherever, who's going to be the veteran woman? It's not going to be Ember Moon. It's going to end up being, what is it, Billie Kay and I forget her name, but her
Peyton Royce.
Yeah, Peyton Royce. Those two, because tenure-wise, they're the longest and most experienced. But
I think they're going up soon too.
And there you go. But I mean, like, there's so much new, fresh talent that's yet to get there. Because half these girls that you know they're going to be there.
Yeah. I feel like if you're not being used on the main roster, like if you're not getting time, they should go back to NXT and actually do like matches here and there. Like I think Emma going back to NXT would be kind of cool. Dana Brooke going back to NXT for a little bit, like doing both.
Yeah, these people need to work. That's the only way they get better.
If they're not on Raw, have them on NXT or look, they are on main event half the time, but have them on NXT. But the only thing is the travel will get all fucked up because if they're like all in California, they have to go all the way back to Florida just to film NXT to do that. But then again, NXT films like 3 shows in once, so there's a lot of things they could do that way. They used to do it. Again, like I said, they used to do it. Sami Zayn probably had one of the greatest matches of NXT history with Cesaro.
Gotcha.
Because Cesaro went back. And this was after his U.S. title reign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like Triple H is just robbing the independent talent? Because every time he develops a superstar in NXT, when they go to the main roster, they really don't do anything. And I'm talking about guys like Bo Dallas, you know, people like that they actually came up through that development. Yeah, the Ascension. People that you didn't hear on the indies, that they had great superstardom in NXT, and they went up to the main roster and they were nothing.
I feel like it's more the writers of the main roster fucking them up than Triple H. Because I know Triple H is a little angry about that.
That's like, what I'm saying.
Like, I can see him like that, but I won't say he's robbing anything because they want to come.
Well, you know what I mean? That he's like he's basically taking them for nothing. He's taking them and they're just headlining now. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, like he's trying to find the best talent in the world, like what he did with the Cruiserweight Classic, what he did with the Mae Young Classic. He tries to find the best people in the world. And
but I do want to see more of the guys that are. I don't mean to cut you off, Jay, but I'm trying to just get this point off before. I do want to see more of the developing teams that they are started at the Performance Center, like Gable and Jordan was, because they weren't on the Indies and they were great. And like you got Heavy Machinery now. They're very entertaining, and I like the name of their finisher, the Compactor, and it looks great.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's all about personality. The Velveteen Dream. Build up these people, and let's see what can happen. Because you know what you're gonna get with the indie guys already. Yeah. You know Roderick Strong is gonna be a big time player.
Yeah, same thing with Gargano. Same thing with Ciampa.
Exactly.
Same thing with
you know
Adam
that those
Cole.
guys. But NXT before when they were building those people, it was more intriguing.
Yeah,
because they didn't have a background. You didn't know who Bo Dallas was. You just knew he was R. Shyster's son.
Yeah, actually, half people didn't even know that.
Exactly. I didn't even, And look, Husky Harris, that was Bray Wyatt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. They started building them. I want to see some of that again. Yeah. Which is why I was saying that I think Triple H. This is why I bring that point. Is that he's bringing established indie talent because he knows when they come up, the fans are going to react. It's like what John Cena told Roman, that the fans hold the keys. The reaction goes crazy for the indie darlings because the fans know who they are.
Yeah.
Which is why I think when Vince gets these guys like Tyler Breeze, who wasn't really a big indie name, he was Mike Dalton, and he came up and he was a big player on NXT, like Ty Dillinger again. Look what they did with the Vaudevillains. They were so good on NXT. Do you remember when we went to TakeOver and they got the craziest pop?
They got the craziest pop.
Dude, I heard I think Gotch explained the story of how they ruined their debut.
Yeah,
that shit is tragic. How they were supposed to do a vignette and keep it silent, and they ended up playing the audio, and it ruined the whole feel of the. They were supposed to be silent movie guys.
Yeah.
So they played the audio for their debut while they were talking. So they were literally standing outside, just bullshitting.
Yeah. They played that. Let's just look at the talent that can't get over. That was so over on NXT that's just struggling now to get over. Bailey, she's struggling to get over. Who else did I have in mind? I had Bailey as number one. Well, Bo Dallas, at least something.
I think he has something right now.
Yeah, he's got something cooking.
I would like them to do a tag team and actually have them go for the tag titles and shit.
Yeah.
So at least let him establish as a tag team right now, and that would be fine. I know he does talent in the Bo Dallas, and he's actually pretty decent on the mic as well. And it's like that's what bothers me. Like Bo Dallas was actually pretty fun on the mic. He was funny too.
But again, something that I've noticed is if you cannot hold yourself and you can't hold yourself with the microphone, if you don't have any personality, any mannerisms, then you're not going to get over, because Alexa Bliss isn't the greatest wrestler, but she got over on the main roster. Look at Bailey. She can't get over because she cannot talk worth a lick, and the fans finally caught on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kudos. I can't give a little, I don't have to kill it completely, but they have done a good job pushing some of the NXT talent that was over, because Alexa Bliss wasn't even a household name in NXT. She was the manager, and she wrestled for about 3 months.
Yeah,
and then she was on the main roster.
In my home.
There you go.
She's always a name in my house.
Word.
But then again, I've been watching NXT since it fucking started. So I've seen everyone.
True enough.
Oh man, but it's weird. It is true. They haven't done it like that. And again, the last one they like fully developed that could have easily got like something was No Way Jose. There's a few like they went straight like Heavy Machinery straight out there. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay is straight out of their thing.
Yeah,
those are the ones that they like hadn't picked. Velveteen Dream, I could see him doing something for NXT very soon. They're gonna start like putting him more into the show. Same thing with Mandy Rose. She actually was in the last couple of tapings. So
yeah, because if you can talk and get a reaction, you will get TV time. Look at Aiden English. He gets booed as shit, but he's good at it.
That's a reaction. Yeah,
exactly.
They're you need something. Crickets.
Yep. Yeah, you need to be able to like at least
the same thing with what's his name, Samson.
Yeah,
he's old. I love Samson now.
I love when he says, "Please hold your applause till I'm done."
And he just looks at the crowd.
Yeah,
they're not gonna stop.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up because you went pretty long. This cast.
We did start a little late. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Babble for 9/3/17. Definitely check us out next week. We'll have more discussions and everything else going around. Stay tuned for a guest, but I swear comes up. I don't know what that cast will be about. We'll figure it out. Check us out on the Wrestling Babble on Facebook. Check me out on Mike SoundCloud and Facebook. Check us all out on Red Cyclone Week on Facebook, WordPress, Twitter,
all over the world.
I'll be more active on the site again. My shows are done. No more spoilers.
And we'll wrap everything up tonight. Thanks for listening, and always check us out. There's more shit coming, and we'll check you guys later.
And fight Yankees, fight.
Word.